Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LA Dojo. Welcome to the New Japan Pro Wrestling Academy Showcase 3. I'm Mark Warzeka. This is Jordan Castle. We are so excited to be your broadcast team for this card of 7 big matches featuring some of the latest graduates of the Academy.
Mark Warzeka, you know what they say, third time is the charm. So excited to be here back in the LA Dojo alongside you, my friend, for what is truly a melting pot in the world of professional wrestling. We have athletes coming at you from New York, Pennsylvania, Las Vegas, Arizona, Vancouver, British Columbia. The list goes on and on and on, all convening right here for some of the very best in professional wrestling training. This, the culmination of all of that.
Yes, they've come here to train with the best. They've come here to level up their game. They've come here to live a dream. They've come here to get a win here today. The stakes are high for everybody in every match on this card. I'm getting excited to go to ringside, Jordan.
Mark Warzeka, we are totally sold out. Total no vacancy here in the LA Dojo. No better time than the present. Let's throw it down to ring announcer Adnan Qureshi.
Tonight's opening match, a 3-way match, one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Victor.
That's Cameron Gates. He calls himself highly recommended, Jordan, and he is not new to the Academy Showcase.
5 feet, 8 inches, 176 pounds. Highly recommended, Cameron Gates.
No, he is not Mark Warzeka. In fact, you were on the call alongside one Azúcar Rocky Romero at the inaugural Academy Showcase when Cameron Gates teamed with one Matt Vandegrift in a losing, albeit impressive effort against Kevin Knight and the DKC. How about the run that Vandegrift has had in the Strong Survivor Series? You gotta think that Cameron Gates taking a look at his old tag team partner and saying, I want a piece of that pie.
Yeah, you gotta wonder what Cameron Gates thinks when he sees Vandegrift's success since that time.
But cannot look ahead too far into the future. Has his hands full tonight with not one, but 2 opponents.
Our opening contest is a 3-way match, sort of unusual in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Exciting to see for an opener here on the 3rd ever Academy Showcase here in the LA Dojo.
6 feet, 165 pounds, Midnight Marauder, Casey Ferreira.
Coming to us all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia, uprooting his life from Canada to the Americas, and here, Casey Ferreira, well, you gotta think, everyone here has something to prove, right, Mark? Everyone here has a chip on their shoulder, but when you travel that far, when you leave your entire life behind, it is tenfold.
They're chasing a dream here tonight.
Another athlete who traveled very, very far from the Carolinas, North Carolina to be specific.
Five feet, 8 inches, 165 pounds. Pure heart, Grant Watts.
He's a technical wizard, Grant Watts. We've got a clash of styles here in this opening contest.
Your referee for this contest, Victor Quintes.
Yeah, and you know, Mark, no one really sticks out to me as the clear favorite. Certainly a clash of styles. Some are stronger in other aspects. But ultimately, I really think it's anyone's matchup to win, especially in this, our opening contest, truly setting the pace for the rest of the Academy Showcase.
Bell rings, and the 3rd ever NJPW Academy Showcase is underway here at the LA Dojo. We are, of course, coming to you from Southern California. Very excited to open up the doors to the dojo. This does not happen often, and we've invited in a live, sold-out crowd to watch this 3rd ever showcase.
Total no vacancy here tonight. Gates trying to take advantage, butterflies the arms. But it is Casey Ferreira taking advantage with a big head scissors takedown.
Casey Ferreira will look for any opportunity to fly. So Cameron Gates better watch his back on the outside.
He's going to have to use that agility, going to have to use that athleticism, going to have to use that high flying. It is his ace in the hole, but Gates know it. knows it. It's exactly why he's cutting him off at the heels. A big elbow drop to the back of Ferreira.
He's got his opponents well scouted here. And already the action fast and furious as we kick this thing off.
And similarly, the same way Ferreira was using the high-flying agility, Grant Watts using that technical wizardry. Into the cover here, lateral press, but a kick out from Gates, and there you see Ferreira unable to break up the pinfall. Luckily for him, Gates able to kick out. Again, we are very, very early on in the contest, but if Watts had pinned Cameron Gates there, Ferreira would have lost the matchup without even being involved in the decision.
Yes, it's an important part to mention here. The rules in three-way matches, they're very high risk. There's sudden death, anything could happen.
Cameron Gates there winding up and a big shot. Casey Ferreira, the impact of his body. Indeed, doing some damage to Watts, but it's Watts up and over, landing on his feet. Gates tucks the line, and a big backbreaker onto the smaller opposition.
They are so equally matched, as you mentioned, Jordan, but we got to remember Cameron Gates, as we mentioned earlier, he's been in a showcase.
Another cover here, trying to steal it, but broken up by Watts.
He's been in Academy Showcase before. He's been under the pressure of these lights before, and the high stakes of this type of event before. That may give him an advantage here.
Nice backslide there from Watts. Maybe a little too much leverage there. Gates able to get the shoulder up as Watts maintains control of the arm here. Cradle. But again, only a 2. You're right. Gates, one of only 2 returning graduates on tonight's program. It speaks. Cover here.
Here we go.
Broken up again by Ferreira. It speaks to the pedigree of Cameron Gates, right? That he was welcomed back, that he was invited back, even though he is not a graduate of this particular Academy Showcase. Did you hear that shot, Mark Warzeka?
Listen to that, and Ferreira returning it. Yes, both Watts and Ferreira have graduated. This is their graduation ceremony. We're watching it right now. This is the end of this training camp for them. But as you mentioned, Cameron Gates was not in the camp this time around. He was about a year ago. He got to come back to wrestle here today.
Right now, he is a total non-factor. Ferreira with the chirping chops neutralizes Watts, if only for the moment. Watts
going for crab here.
Yeah, maybe the signature of the young lion here is Watts. We know he is a student of the game, specifically here in New Japan. This is the culmination of a lifelong dream for the Pure Heart.
The iconic Boston crab, well known in the New Japan Dojo system overseas, being put to use here on the Academy Showcase in LA.
Cameron Gates not going to give him the satisfaction, breaking up the Boston Crab, and Watts is pissed here, Warzeka.
Tempers starting to flare up in our opening moments, our opening minutes of our opening contest of this 7-match card. We've got 7 big matches tonight with a lot of interesting dynamics throughout the night as these two fire back and forth at each other.
Listen, Mark, these 3 don't necessarily have a personal vendetta, a personal issue with one another, but this is a very, very important stage. I think you can't argue. Nice tornado DDT there, using Watts as a stepping stone into Gates. Now it's the cover goes Ferreira. Kick out there from Gates, but it is easily the biggest stage of all 3 of these men's young, fruitful careers, and so a victory would go a very long way in propelling them perhaps to a future here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Again, we've seen Cameron Gates return here. He lost the first time, cannot afford to have it happen the second go-around.
This could be the case all night. The stakes are so high for every single one of these professional wrestlers who came here for 2.5 months to train, to live a dream. And what is tonight going to mean to them? Is it the beginning of a long journey in this business? Is it the beginning of a path that leads one day to Wrestle Kingdom? Or is it a one and done for any of these competitors?
Well, right now, Watts turning Ferreira's dream into a nightmare, but instead meets the waiting boot of Cameron Gates. Deadlift German, broken up by Gates. Again, it is a cliche, but it is a cliche for a reason, Mark Warzeka. You gotta have eyes in the back of your head. And there, Cameron Gates thinking gateway drug. Broken up there by Grant Watts. Mark, that is a game-ending maneuver for Cameron Gates. I don't think there's a world in which Casey Ferreira kicks out of that move of his own accord. Crucifix there from Watts. Broken up at the last second by Ferreira.
I can't believe we just heard the 5-minute call. I can't believe how much action has been packed in to the first 5 minutes of this opening contest. And by the way, fans, this is a one-fall 15-minute match. There's 10 minutes left to go. 15-minute time limit in this one.
But as I was saying, the gateway drug, a real finishing maneuver for all intents and purposes for Cameron Gates.
Well, there have been a couple times here where I think, Jordan, we would have absolutely seen a pinfall if it wasn't broken up by the third man in the match.
And if you're in a three-way contest like this, right, how do you strategize for that? How do you prepare for focusing all of your offense on one opponent, having a cover secured, only to have it broken up by the third man, throwing a wrench in your plans?
It's such a challenge. It's a completely different psychology and approach to the match than you would have in a singles match.
From the top, Ferreira looking to fly the Midnight Marauder into a sunset flip, but this time it's Watts breaking it up, a sunset flip of his own, broken up by Gates into a crucifix.
Incredible!
There it is! One's done!
How about it? We got a winner!
Time, 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Here is your winner, Cameron Gates.
Well, second time was indeed the charm for Cameron Gates,
Once again, your winner of the match,
to the
Cameron
NJPW
Gates.
Academy Showcase, this time with a very, very different result.
The pace of that contest was absolutely incredible, that these three athletes could maintain that level of intense offense for just an absolute burst. Looked like we were watching a match in fast forward there for 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Incredible start to the evening.
And take nothing away from Academy graduates, Watts and Ferreira, more than prove their toughness, more than prove their fighting spirit here tonight in our opening contest. But Mark, you can clearly see why Cameron Gates comes highly recommended. Still so much more great action on tap, fans. We throw it back to Adnan Qureshi.
Second match, tag team contest. One fall with a 15-minute time limit.
And for anyone potentially interested in training at the NJPW Academy here at the LA Dojo, I want to point out that summer 2024 courses begin on May 20th. We still have space available. Head over to NJPW1972.com or at NJPW Academy on Instagram for all the details.
Get in there early. These classes, these camps, they fill up fast.
Tag team action on tap with two first-time ever tag teams. A very, very interesting dynamic in both the red and the blue corner, Mark.
Always curious to see what happens when you have wrestlers teaming up for the first time ever. That is the case, as you mentioned, Jordan, on both sides of the ring this time around.
Blue corner, 5 feet, 8 inches, 145 pounds, Dameon Shadows. 6 feet, 2 inches, 225 pounds, Lycan.
Of course, in the cowboy hat and the fur, that is Lycan, a man who every single week, twice a week, for the last 2.5 months, has driven 6 to 8 hours from his home of Phoenix, Arizona. Unbelievable dedication. And then his tag team partner, Dameon Shadows, initially enrolling in the beginner's course of the NJPW Academy, impressing officials so much that he earned himself a spot on this showcase. Here comes our opponents. We talk about how impressive it was that Lycan made the journey from Phoenix, Arizona. How about this young man in the jersey, Davion Jacot, making the journey up from Las Vegas, Nevada, taking a 3:30 a.m. red-eye flight each and every single week.
And Jordan, as you chronicle these things for us, it really gives us an idea of what these wrestlers have been sacrificing to be here, to train with the best in New Japan Pro Wrestling, to do everything they can to level up their game. And they want wins tonight. They want to show up and show out tonight. Everything's on the line for every one of these Academy members and graduates.
Red corner, 5 feet, 10 inches, 215 pounds, Le Conglomerate, Davion Jacot. 6 feet, 230 pounds, Christian Andrews.
Of course, I mentioned Jacot's rigorous travel schedule, weekly red-eye flights. How about Christian Andrews uprooting his entire life from Brooklyn, New York, moving cross-country solely for this opportunity?
Justin Borden.
They may not be a regular team, but there is a color coordination going on in the gear, Jordan.
And we got the matching Lakers colors here for both of these teams, and a pre-match handshake. Clearly, as far as I'm concerned, the advantage lying in the corner of Andrews and Jacot. Will be interesting to see if that comes into play.
Justin Borden, our referee for this one, and we've got an interesting tag team contest where the dynamic is such that I think it's fair to say, Jordan, that whichever one of these teams is able to work better in sync as a duo has the advantage.
Yeah, ego can come into play a lot, especially with a stage this big, especially with an opportunity this big, but it's less so about being the great wrestler, the greatest wrestler in the ring, excuse me. It's much more about being the greatest tag team partner, working the best with your tag team partner.
Colin, I will tie up here. You know, Jordan, I've seen Lycan wrestling in the SoCal indie scene. Seen him wrestling around the country, often wrestles with face paint on, with makeup. Does not have that here.
You know, was talking to me earlier on tonight saying that despite the aggressiveness, despite the unorthodox nature of Lycan that he usually uses to throw his opponents off their game, tonight he wants to lean into his amateur background. He wants to get technical. He wants to prove everything that the NJPW Academy has taught him is now coming to fruition. Of course, a 6-year MMA practitioner, a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but not to be outdone is his opponent in the ring currently, Christian Andrews, experience with Muay Thai in his own right. So both of these competitors really, really technically sound in the art of martial arts.
Yes, and seeing these men go back and forth here on top of the NJPW logo, you know that means the world to so many of these wrestlers here tonight, that they're in this ring, that they're wrestling on that lion mark. This is what it's all about for them.
Wrenching at the arm here. But a nice head scissors from Andrews neutralizes Lycan. I was talking to Andrews earlier on tonight, and he was saying when he started training as a professional wrestler, he had only really watched mainstream, nationally televised wrestling. And his trainers told him, expand your horizons, broaden your horizons. And it was then he discovered Japanese professional wrestling. He said he fell in love. It changed his perspective on what the sport of professional wrestling can be. But right now, his brain chemistry getting rearranged in a whole different way as Lycan works over him off the ropes into a big shoulder block, taking Lycan down.
Andrews gets the best of that exchange.
But again, you're right, Mark Warzeka. This opportunity means so much to all of these competitors, to everyone scheduled to compete tonight, not just because of what they have the potential to achieve on this evening, but because of the potential future opportunities they can earn in New Japan Strong. Hell, traveling to Japan, traveling to the land of the rising sun. Got to be weighing on the minds of all 4 of these men, but cannot overlook their opponents either.
Andrews and Jacot working as an experienced tag team there, keeping their opponent on their side of the ring, unloading in the corner, using the 5 count to their advantage.
Jacot in the ring now, looking for a waistlock, Lycan with one of his own. I know we both watched the over 10-minute video that Jacot released to social media, really bearing his heart, talking about how much this opportunity meant for him. So felt like he was falling by the wayside, right? He's a native of Las Vegas and felt that in his native Nevada, he was boxed in and typecast. And now he finally feels like, thanks to his training at the NJPW Academy, that he can break that proverbial glass ceiling.
And I don't think he's alone amongst this roster of wrestlers here tonight. They look at this academy as an opportunity to level up. How can I get to the next level? And that's what brings them to the King of Sports, New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's what brings them to the LA Dojo. That's what brings Dameon Shadows off the top rope, working the arm.
Lycan was trying to cinch in that cross arm breaker, saw the fingers of Jacot interlaced, felt he wasn't going to get it. Instead, tagged in partner Dameon Shadows, who, as you said, Mark, is staying on top of the injured extremity. Clearly, Lycan and Shadows have a target, and clearly they are exploiting it here.
Nice deep arm drag. He has a size disadvantage. He's got to stick and move in this one. Got enough of that drop kick for it to count.
Into the cover. Only a 2 count there from Jacot, and that's what you got to do, right? You got someone like Davion Jacot in the ring, a very proficient professional wrestler. You clip a wing, you neutralize an extremity. How is he supposed to... Oh, hold on. Big power slam here, perhaps.
Got caught.
Fallaway slam there, perhaps on adrenaline alone from Jacot. You can see it took something out of him in the process.
And look where he fell away to. He fell away into Jacot and Andrews' corner. Very smart offense.
Again, Dameon Shadows, the smallest competitor in this matchup, and right now that is hurting him. The distance cover here. The distance that Jacot got It left the opening for a tag, and Jacot more than happy to take it. Andrews now working over the back of Shadows.
And we're continuing to see great double team moves out of Jacot and Andrews. They're moving like the Rock and Roll Express in here together.
Well, again, Mark,
Five
Shaq and
minutes is
Kobe,
elapsed.
maybe.
5 minutes.
We got the 5-minute call from our ring announcer. Their first time officially teaming in a professional wrestling ring in a sanctioned matchup, but they've both been taking the very same academy classes from coaches Fred Rosser and Kushida, right? They have that synchronicity. They've had time to wrestle each other, and they've had time to wrestle as a team, albeit in practice matches, an entirely different beast. That's paying dividends here.
They clearly did some work to make sure that they were on the same page. Jawbreaker.
Now Shadows has to make the tag. He is looking worse for the wear. Perhaps the beginner's class student maybe feeling a little in over his head. Tags in his tag team partner, Lycan.
Lycan going right for pinfall here.
But only a 2. Jacot able to escape the small package. Lycan from behind, trying to roll him up once again. Covers fast and furious. What does that say to you, Mark?
Well, it could mean one of two things. One, it could be a sign of straight up desperation. The other, he could feel confident enough that they could take this match at any time.
Big chop to the chest of Jacot. Very, very dangerous place for Jacot to be on the ring apron. He knows this. Escaping back to the ring with a chop of his own.
And the fans here at the dojo loving hearing that impact. There's nothing like being at New Japan Pro Wrestling live.
Such special, intimate access, not only to the dojo, but to the action of these Academy graduates and Academy competitors. In comes Shadows. Once again, another sign of great tag team synergy. We talked a lot about Jacot and Andrews, but right now, Shadows and Lycan showing it with those frequent tags.
That's right, good. They desperately needed that. They were getting outclassed in terms of tag team maneuverability. And again, Davion Jacot gets his opponent towards his corner. Gets Shadows towards the red corner, cutting off the ring.
Maybe looking to go for the cover instead, trying to stay on top of Dameon. Shadows knows that too much time has elapsed between the offensive maneuver and a potential cover. Very, very smart from Jacot. Only 20 years old, but wise beyond his years.
Great to hear the crowd getting into this one. We are sold out. Every single fan that we could fit into this dojo is in this dojo. And it's at full capacity. No vacancy, as you said, Jordan. This is not a performance venue. This isn't an arena. This is an actual training dojo that we've opened up to the crowd.
Shadows tagging in Lycan here immediately on top of Jacot. Nice suplex there into the cover. But a kick out from Jacot. You know, we talk about how Lycan has left behind some of the frills, right? He's not wearing the face paint tonight, but we still see some of that wolf-like animosity. A Lycan is defined as an ability or power of a human being to transform into a wolf or to gain wolf-like characteristics. That's what Lycan is showing, and that's exactly why Jacot and Andrews are so expertly and dutifully staying on top of him here with a neck breaker.
Nice neck breaker, going for a cover.
Lateral press, leg hooked, but only a 2. Such intensity from Andrews, a pro of over 5 years, over half a decade. You're starting to see why. But a big kick there from Lycan, gets the opening, tags in partner Shadows. He is small, but he is mighty, Warzeka.
And he's courageous, came in with some strikes. But look at the double team here, Jordan. They're immediately on him.
You gotta be careful, referee Justin Borden doesn't disqualify these two. Irish whip.
What's this gonna be?
A double clothesline of sorts. Jacot seemingly taking Lycan out of the equation, and now in the ring,
Shadows all
Andrews.
alone in there.
TKO means 1, 2, 3.
Time, 9 minutes and 7 seconds. Here are your winners, Davion Jacot and Christian Andrews.
We gotta give Jacot and Andrews credit, Jordan. We said at the beginning of the match, none of these men had teamed before. And we thought that the team that would have the advantage would be the team that worked better together. Andrews and Jacot were clearly the better team here. I don't know if they're the better wrestlers. They were the better team here, though.
And that's what matters in tag team competition. Again, clearly getting there early, staying there a little late when it comes to their NJPW Academy classes at the LA Dojo. You gotta think the second they found out this matchup was on the docket, they started training, not just as wrestlers, as you said, but as a tag team, and it's paying off. I think we have the matching gear to thank, Mark.
Hey, we are here in LA, and those are Lakers colors.
In all seriousness, so much great action on tap. We got more singles competition coming at you right now.
Third match, singles contest. One fall with a 15-minute time limit.
Let's go, Victor.
Another Academy graduate, and to quote Greta Gerwig's Barbie, it's pink. Good enough to drink. The pink dream, Alex Gracia.
The women's division keeps getting better and better. In New Japan Pro Wrestling, in New Japan Strong.
Red corner, 5 feet 1 inch, the pink dream, Alex Gracia.
I'm so glad you mentioned New Japan Strong,
Yes.
Mark, because recently Stephanie Zakher capturing the New Japan Strong Women's Championship.
We have a new champion.
Zakher, of course, a veteran of Stardom and CMLL. You know who can say the same? You know who else is a veteran of Stardom and CMLL?
Who is that?
That's the pink dream, Alex Gracia.
That's right.
So certainly,
Both of these competitors with a lot of experience.
certainly sights set on goal, but has to get through this woman, someone I know you're no stranger to.
Mylo is returning to us. Another wrestler who appeared on the NJPW Academy Showcase #1. She's back here, back through camp again.
The Mac is back again. Appeared as a local Star Wars, excuse me, the first time around. Now an actual Academy graduate.
Blue corner, 5 feet 3 inches, the Mac Daddy, Mylo.
And you gotta think, Mark, because of that, this is gonna be a totally different Mylo than the one we saw last time, right? I mean, yes, she picked up a victory at the inaugural Academy Showcase.
That's right, she did win.
As a visitor, but I mean, after going through 2.5 months of the NJPW Academy, after training with the likes of Kushida and Fred Rosser, you hear it from everyone who's gone through the system. Her game has no doubt stepped up.
Oh, I thought for a moment we were seeing some good sportsmanship, Jordan, between these two, but that was not the case. Gracia was just luring Mylo in.
Yeah, no code of honor here. Gracia instead trying to get into the head of Mylo. Will be very interesting to see if those mind games work, because that's exactly what they are, Mark, right? Alex Gracia is not, no cover here, shoulders down early.
Wow.
Once again, Gracia really toying with Mylo here. Not enough, not this early on in the contest. I'm not sure if I'd go so far as to say Gracia is a inherently disrespectful person, but again, because of the platform, because of the opportunity of New Japan Pro Wrestling, she is willing to do anything and everything it takes to pick up a victory against someone who already has in the LA Dojo, in Mylo.
Not only a wrestler, but essentially an influencer of sorts is Gracia. She says she's all things pretty strong, pretty athletic, pretty resilient, and pretty pink. She's pretty caught right now.
Yeah, Mylo got a nice armbar cinched in there. Gracia maybe having a little too much fun, maybe relying a little too much on the mind games, and now it costs her. Shoulders of Mylo down again. Gracia really wants to finish this one quickly, Mark.
These two women know each other well, not only from training here,
Shoulders down,
but from wrestling each other all over the Southern California wrestling scene.
Yeah, they are no strangers to one another, a budding rivalry of sorts. But only a two. Again, you gotta think though, the fact that they are Academy graduates, shoulders down once again. I can barely get a word in edgewise. This time from Mylo. Back and forth we go. You gotta think being Academy graduates, this being shoulders down, my goodness. Not sure if we should even speak this match, Mark.
They're back and forth. Wow. I am sort of surprised at this level of technical wrestling and grappling offense. Not that I didn't know that both women were capable of it. I just frankly expected more high-impact offense. They've gone to the mat with each other right from the beginning here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you would have seen this same level of high-impact offense, this same level of technical wrestling a couple months ago. I think it speaks to how much they've learned and gleaned here in the NJPW Academy.
Yes.
Mylo here finally getting Alex Gracia off her back, literally.
Gracia's got that commitment to the color pink, the pink dream, the pink attack, and pink's been a good color in pro wrestling. I'm reminded of the Hitman, Bret Hart, who committed to that pink.
Backslide here. Kick out from Gracia. Again, the Hart family, no strangers to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but it's Alex Gracia using the reprieve of the bottom rope to escape a potential submission maneuver from Mylo.
Gracia calls herself sassy and classy, from Texas A&M. And she spent a lot of time in the Texas wrestling scene as well.
Yes, originally trained under Booker T at the Reality of Wrestling School is Alex Gracia here. Some really, really impressive pedigree, but it is not helping her here. Mylo in very, very firm control, Mark. And as soon as I say it, Gracia with a kick to neutralize her opponent. Oh, my goodness.
In a bad way there on the apron.
It's a cliche, Mark, but it's a cliche for a reason. The ring apron, the ring frame, the hardest part of the ring canvas. It is where wood meets steel. Absolutely no give. And Mylo's face just got driven into it.
And just some nasty blows from Gracia on the outside, working the arm now. This is clearly a strategy. She didn't just stumble into this. She was hoping to get Mylo in this position, taking full advantage of it and full advantage of the count.
And again, there is a 20 count on the outside, unique to New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's Gracia here. Mylo's got to be very, very careful to not keep her shoulders down. And that might be the least of her worries as Gracia just wrenches at the arm.
We could see a submission here.
Mylo trying to reverse, but, I mean, didn't do herself any favors, if anything, got herself farther and farther away from the rope, which at this point may be her only source of reprieve. Shoulders down. Gracia, no choice but to release the hold.
And comes right in with a clubbing blow, taking Mylo down. Gracia's dominant here at the moment.
Yeah, very, very aggressive Gracia. Underestimate her at your own risk, right? You see the influencer lifestyle, the beauty products, the pink gear. That is not who Alex Gracia is. She is as dangerous and capable as a competitor as you will find.
Mentioned Mylo grew up watching wrestling with her mom. She loved playing wrestling games on PlayStation.
Originally from Virginia, another person who uprooted her life, not necessarily for the NJPW Academy, but for potential opportunities that she saw here in Southern California. Maybe regretting it here, but this time tucks the line.
5 minutes.
Once again, Gracia, a big springboard crossbody, leg hooked, only a 2.
Another match where we just got the 5-minute call, and I just can't believe the amount of action that we've seen packed into the first 5 minutes. How bad do these wrestlers want it? Everybody in every match on the card, they are out to prove themselves tonight.
I'm sure Coach Fred Rosser has told them, listen, you do not get paid by the hour. The quicker you win, the better you win. It's one thing to lose to a great competitor. I don't think there'd be any shame in losing to either of these ladies. But for this match to end in a time limit draw cover here, that's shameful. There's no satisfaction in that, Mark.
It's another match, one full 15-minute time limit. Here comes Gracia.
Kick to the side of Mylo's skull, leg hooked, but only a 2.
Gracia's shown a nice combination.
Again into the cover, fast and furious. We're seeing
not letting up.
The desperation here from Gracia.
They're hungry. Everybody on this show tonight is hungry, Jordan. They're hungry for that win. They're hungry to impress the coaches. They're hungry to impress these fans. They're hungry to impress New Japan Pro Wrestling.
You hear it 1,000 times over, an angry fighter is a sloppy fighter. Could we potentially be seeing some sloppiness from Gracia here? As they trade forearms in the center of the ring, Mylo removing those arm sleeves. She means business, Zakher.
She's struggling, but she is not giving up. Fighting her way back into this one, but Gracia cuts her off.
And you just see Mylo crumple there, or maybe not. Meets Gracia with a big forearm to the throat.
Crisscross catches her.
And kick takes her down. How about the intensity from Mylo? We talked about it from Gracia. I'd be thinking lung blower there, but no, Gracia. Elbows to the face, doing everything she can to stop her.
Mylo knew since middle school that what she wanted to do in life was be a professional wrestler.
And
since middle school, she's been thinking about moments like that right there.
There we see the lung blower. Once again, locking in that submission maneuver. It didn't work for it earlier. We're in the center of the ring right now.
Here we go.
Alex Gracia with the arms of Mylo tugging at her throat. with the legs of Mylo intertwined to her own. She's got nowhere to go, Mark.
Right smack in the middle. She's on the logo.
Perhaps
I think a rake of the
yeah, I
eyes
was
or a
gonna
rake of the
say.
face.
Referee Victor Cuentas there. It is up to his discretion whether or not he saw it, whether or not he wanted this matchup to end in disqualification. Again, our officials with the best seat in the house, but that may have been the opening Gracia needed.
Some might consider.
Cover.
Here we go.
And that's it.
Oh my goodness. Gracia surprised her.
Time,
and pulls
7
out the
minutes and
win.
59 seconds. Here is your winner, Alex Gracia.
I said it might have been. It absolutely was the opening that Gracia needed. I think this was Mylo's match to win. And then that rake of the eyes, I believe we saw. Referee Victor clearly didn't. It's all Gracia needed to pick up the 1, 2, 3.
Both wrestlers were so aggressive in this thing, but Jordan, a deciding factor just may have been that I think Gracia was willing to go places that Mylo wouldn't go. Gracia got really nasty in this one.
By any means necessary. Take nothing away from the Mac Daddy 1-1 and even record here at the NJPW Academy. Going back to the drawing board after tonight.
Looking forward to seeing what Mylo is going to do next. And looking forward to seeing this next matchup with an incredibly fascinating dynamic, Jordan.
Fourth match, singles contest. One fall with a 15-minute time limit.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, Mark, at our last Academy Showcase, we saw a couple of these, what we might call teacher versus student matchups.
That's right.
And this one, Romeo Guzman,
yes,
head-to-head with trainer the DKC. Really the only example of that on this, the third Academy Showcase.
That's right.
Guzman coming to us from the Dominican Republic. Only 5 months of wrestling training under his belt. Half of that here at NJPW Academy in the LA Dojo. Half of that in his native Philadelphia, Pennsylvania under Catch Point.
But you can feel the charisma oozing off of him.
Blue corner, 5 feet 11 inches, 210 pounds, the Dominican Bruiser, Romeo Guzman.
Welcome to New Japan Pro Wrestling Academy Showcase. Romeo Guzman.
Guzman telling me earlier on tonight that growing up, he only saw Dominicans represented on his television screen as baseball players or singers. He never saw prolific Dominican professional wrestlers, and now he wants to be that professional wrestler for young kids growing up in the DR. He wants to be that role model that he himself never had. But much easier said than done against one of his trainers because, Mark, much like Dameon Shadows a few moments ago, Romeo Guzman did not enter NJPW Academy as a member of the advanced class. He entered NJPW Academy as a member of the beginners class, taught by this man, DKC. Impressed the DKC so much that he earned a spot against one of his mentors here tonight.
The DKC, not only one of the coaches here at the Academy, but
Red
DKC
corner,
is now
LA Dojo, the eternal DKC.
Don't take it personally. I promise Adnan does it on purpose.
He's now the only wrestler. Once this bell rings, he will have been the only wrestler to have ever wrestled on all 3 of our Academy Showcases. All available, by the way, on YouTube if you want to go back and have a look at Showcases number 1 and 2. They're up there for you to check out anytime. The bell rings, and as you said, Jordan, we've got teacher versus student.
Look at Romeo Guzman. He is all smiles. You know, he has been waiting for this opportunity for a very, very long time. But that smile quickly fading as he trades kicks with his master.
Tight headlock takes him over. What do you want if you're the DKC? You want to see your student
Cover.
do well, but you don't want to lose the match to them.
Yeah, it's a real conflict of interest,
That's right.
You gotta think DKC so proud of Romeo Guzman, so proud of all the growth and progress he has had, earning a spot on this showcase as initially a member of the beginners class, but also doesn't want to suffer the embarrassment of losing to one of his own students.
Of course not. And DKC, I'm sure, has taught Romeo Guzman a lot. But has he taught him everything he knows? I doubt it. And then from the other side, does Romeo Guzman have a move or two, a hold or two? that he knows, that DKC doesn't know that he knows, that he can bust out on him here.
Well, I mentioned it during the entrance. He's trained under the likes of Drew Gulak and Wheeler Yuta and Hot Sauce Tracy Williams at the Catchpoint Wrestling School in Philadelphia. I mean, in terms of elite training, besides the NJPW Academy, it don't get much better.
It's not unfair to Guzman to say that he is the underdog in this match, right? DKC has the experience. He's a coach here. He's a trainer. He wrestles in New Japan proper. He's faced some
Cover from DKC.
He's faced some of the top stars in all of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, you know, he's hoping to have a good showing, but that doesn't mean that even with all the disadvantages he has in this one, that he doesn't want the victory. He wants a win here.
DKC recently competing in the Super Junior Tag Team alongside partner, the Funky Weapon Taguchi, picking up victories over the likes of LIJ and TMDK. We're going to see a member of TMDK in action in our main event, Mark.
That's right, bad dude Tito is in the house later tonight, everybody. You want to make sure to stay with us for that one. DKC has also wrestled Naito Okada, Shingo Ishii. He's taking out some of the best here in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
We're seeing some aggression there from the DKC. Certainly no love lost. Certainly not letting a student have it easy here. Had to be forced out of the hold, forced off of the ropes from referee Justin Borden.
DKC's in incredible shape and conditioning, and Guzman lost a lot of weight himself. He's been training, got down from 250 to 218 pounds.
He lost well over 30 pounds, has Romeo Guzman here. You see the size, you see the strength. Taking DKC down with that shoulder block, but he has also added quickness to his game with that weight loss. Big leapfrog there from the DKC. Going for the hip toss, but nope, Guzman's still big. I don't care if he lost over 30 pounds. He still has the power advantage firmly in his back pocket.
Nice deep arm drag, takes his opponent to the mat, and Guzman using that size advantage to get some weight in on him with DKC. Smooth, cagey, experienced, knows he cannot stay down on the mat. Got to get up on his feet as quick as possible. Guzman's got him in the corner. Oh! Another huge job.
My God. You know, the DKC, he already has a tattoo on that side of his chest. He may have another one covering it in the shape of Guzman's hand.
Look at DKC sticking and moving. Guzman can't keep up with him here.
Putting those educated feet to good use, the martial arts experience of the DKC. For a very long time, people laughed it off, right? There's nothing funny if you're Romeo Guzman. Big shot to the chest, into the cover. And a kick out. He is the Eternal. He has those Bruce Lee style influences. You see it in the color of the gear.
And listen to the crowd. They know him here in SoCal. They appreciate him here in the LA Dojo. He's in a sense, is a hometown favorite.
He's a product of the LA Dojo, training under the legendary Katsuyori Shibata.
Right here in this very ring. Right here in this very ring.
Cover, both legs hooked off the spinning sidewalk slam, but only a two.
It's another part of the interesting dynamic here for all of the wrestlers who have been training right here in this room, right here in this ring, to now have all of us here with them. Right? They're under the hot lights with a big crowd. It totally changes up the dynamic of what they've been used to the last 2.5 months.
Yeah, Mark, it's one thing to spar. It's one thing to have a practice match, even against someone like the DKC. Damn near 100 fans here in a sold-out LA Dojo. That is a totally different animal. Did you hear that?
Oh, my God. You could hear that out on the street. You could hear that through the walls of the dojo.
You could hear that one in Japan. And somehow, somewhere, I didn't think it was possible, that one was even louder.
I've had some teachers I wouldn't have mind doing that too.
Romeo Guzman, no doubt, paying the DKC back for some hard nights of squats.
From the chest to the back. Using his size, using his power, taking his time. There's some sophistication to the pacing that we're seeing out of Romeo Guzman here.
Again, it's not just a big brute, right? It's not just a big, dumb, powerful guy. Romeo Guzman is cerebral, and right now, maybe looking to cinch in the gory here. Center of the ring, nowhere for the DKC to go. Even if he was close to a rope, he couldn't reach it, and now a tribute to trainer Drew Gulak. Oh! Following it up with a lariat.
Here we go!
Into a cover. But a kick out from DKC.
A close call there. A lot closer than DKC probably expected he would be in this match.
Romeo Guzman now, maybe looking for that Dominican buster, maybe trying to finish things, but the DKC not going quietly into the night.
Big scoop and a big slam.
Into a cover, but a kick out from DKC. Such aggression, such intensity, even in the kick out from DKC.
That's right. And he's got to, as he knows he's got to get some offense going here. Tried to fire back, but those shots just didn't have enough oomph behind them.
You can try all you want when you're in the ring with a man nearly double your size. It's much easier said than done. And I gotta say, Guzman may be the rookie here, but you wouldn't know it. As DKC taking us around the world and finally trying to mount some level of offense.
But now he's got to capitalize.
Yeah, he absolutely does, right. It's one thing to land one move, to stay on top of Guzman, to truly turn the tide is something totally different, but we may be seeing it here.
I'm thinking about Guzman as a kid in the Dominican Republic watching wrestling on his TV. Never imagining that this could be a reality for him. And now here he is, living this dream and feeling every moment of it.
Yeah, this dream may have become a nightmare with a spinning back fist into a shotgun drop kick. And now the DKC maybe looking to fly, maybe thinking cannonball.
Guzman's eyes rolled in the back of his head. DKC, I'm sure, is ready to finish this thing off.
But Romeo Guzman is not.
When you've been dreaming about this your whole life, if you've got an ounce of strength left in your body, you're kicking out. You're kicking out.
Guzman started his wrestling journey in the LA dojo. He may be looking to end Romeo Guzman's wrestling journey in that very same building, but Guzman sends him into the corner. Boom! All of his body weight into his trainer.
Hurt himself a little bit with that. He's feeling it, but he's coming for some more.
Really favoring that right bicep is Romeo Guzman, but has to capitalize. It's not often you have the DKC staggered here. Big power bomb into a cover. But a kick out from the DKC!
I wasn't the only one, Jordan, who flinched. I thought that was all.
That was about as close gets, but Mark Warzeka almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and if only for the moment, the DKC survives.
How would you feel if you're the DKC? You spent 2.5 months training this guy, and he comes in and beats you.
It is an embarrassment the DKC can hardly afford, but after a chop like that, he may have no choice.
Guzman again gonna use his size, his power, lifting DKC into the lights, but out of desperation, DKC going back to that expert martial arts background.
Sweeping the leg, there is DKC on the outside. What does he have planned, Mark?
Guzman's in a bad part of town and gets caught with a big boot to the side of the head.
Foot, meet, face, and now the DKC may be zeroing in on victory.
Incredible agility. DKC springboard, leg drop.
Same maneuver that won him last time we were here at NJPW Academy, and it does so again.
Heck of a match.
Time,
Heck
9
of a
minutes
showing.
and 43 seconds. Here is your winner, the DKC.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nobody has had an answer for the springboard offense of the DKC. Picked up a victory over Zane tonight. Picked up a victory over Romeo Guzman, but take nothing away from the Dominican Bruiser. What a performance, no doubt, making his family, his history, his lineage in the DR very, very proud.
Teacher beat the student, but what a showing for Romeo Guzman.
Fantastic showing. Guzman telling me earlier on tonight that he actually adopted the name Guzman as a tribute to his grandfather. You gotta think his grandfather smiling. Very, very proud after tonight.
I don't think we've seen the last of Romeo Guzman in pro wrestling and in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Great start for him here. on the Academy Showcase.
So much more great action on tap. We have Dom Kubrick and Lucas Riley head-to-head with Allan Breeze and CJ Tino in tag team action. Zara Zakher head-to-head with Jada Stone. And then, as you mentioned, Mark, in our main event, Bad Dude Tito head-to-head with another one of the DKC's students in Zane J.
And there's so much going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Jordan. We're excited about Windy City Riot coming up Friday, April 11th in Chicago, Illinois. Moxley, Naito, Takahashi, Mustafa Ali, Ishii versus Nemeth. What a card that's going to be. And then Resurgence, Saturday, May 11th, Toyota Arena, Ontario, California, not too far from where we're sitting right now. Just a few miles away, Jordan. And that's going to be an incredible card. Naito, Moxley, Takagi, Zack Sabre Jr., Eddie Kingston, Shota Umino, Yota Tsuji have all been announced for that card as we sit here today. There's a lot more to come.
All of that and so much more. It is the Summer of Strong here in the United States, April 12th in Chicago, Illinois. It is Windy City Riot. And then May 11th here in California, Ontario, California, to be more specific. It is Resurgence. So much great New Japan action on Fight and on New Japan World. So much great New Japan action right here on YouTube, Mark.
If you're sitting home and you're thinking, I want to live a dream. I want to live a dream like these wrestlers are. I want to train with the best in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Go to NJPW1972.com. Find out about the next courses starting here at the Academy. We'd love to have you here with us.
Again, May 20th, summer courses begin. Spots are still available. Hold on.
Time to go to work.
Well, this is not on my run sheet, but I would know that music anywhere.
Next up is a women's match.
Well,
but this is not one of the competitors in that match, Jordan.
It certainly is not. That is the head coach of the advanced class here at NJPW Academy. That's Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser.
We've seen Fred in action on the last 2 Academy Showcases, and are surprised to see him in the ring here tonight.
And not dressed for competition tonight, though looking very spiffy in that tracksuit. Previously have picked up victories over the likes of Buck Skinner and Shaheen. Tonight,
you
something to
can't have
say.
an Academy show without this primetime player in the house, Mr. No Day Off. You know, I'm one of the coaches here, along with DKC and Koshida's son. And for me, whether it's in front of 100 people or 20,000 people, this is so much fun for me. And I don't want to get too emotional because I am an emotional person, but it means the world to me to see all of the Academy graduates sign up, join a program that is very tough. This business is extremely tough, extremely taxing mentally and physically. So for me, to be that support system for them means the absolute world to me. And the beautiful thing about New Japan Pro Wrestling is not only can I coach and be a mentor and lead by example, I can also still kick ass. Which leads me to April 12th. New Japan Pro Wrestling has a show coming up in Chicago, Illinois. Windy City Riot. And New Japan has just announced a fatal 4-way tag team title match for the Strong open weight tag team titles. And let me be the first one right here, right now, to throw my name into the tag team title picture.
Wow.
Who's my partner? Filthy Tom Lawler. Tom Lawler, let me make this crystal clear to you. I don't like you and you don't like me. And this ain't a black thing and this ain't a white thing. This is a us kicking ass type of thing. And April 12th, If you're not ready, you need to lace up them damn wrestling boots because it's time to go to work with no filthy days off.
Two men who have waged war for the last several years in New Japan Strong, joining forces to vie for GOD's Strong Openweight Tag Team titles in the Four Corner Open Challenge.
Wow! Blockbuster announcement by Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rolliser. I don't know if there's anybody in the world I would have expected him to say less as his tag team partner than Tom Lawler. But if those two can put their forces together, if they can get on the same page, if they can get on the same side and make it work, ooh, they could be a devastating tag team.
Well, you know, there may be no two men who hate each other more than Rosser and Lawler. There's also no two men who know each other more than Rosser and Lawler.
That's right.
April 12th, gonna be one for the books for Zakher. My goodness.
Wow, well, it was good to see the head coach out here, and also good to hear a little bit more about Chicago.
Fifth match, singles contest, one fall with a 15-minute time limit.
And Mark, you and I were talking beforehand. I know this is one that both of us were really looking forward to when the card dropped.
I don't think we're the only ones, Jordan. This might be low-key the most anticipated match of the evening.
She's the spark. That stands for superior, passionate, athletic, resilient, and kick your butt. It's Jada Stone.
And it's not just a nickname. We're gonna see the spark when she gets in the ring. We're gonna see the spark she brings to her offense, to her defense, to the way she approaches professional wrestling.
Yeah, she's got some stake to that sizzle, does Jada Stone. She celebrated her 2-year anniversary as a professional wrestler.
Blue corner, the Spark, Jada Stone!
But certainly no shortage of confidence, not exactly making friends here at the LA Dojo, though with athleticism like that, you don't exactly need to.
I don't think she's worried about it. I don't think she's here to make friends. I think she's here to get a win, and I think that's all she cares about tonight.
Getting a win, easy to say, not exactly easy to do, especially when you're in the ring with her opponent, the petite powerhouse herself. You know, Zara Zakher just crossed the 1-year mark in her journey as a professional wrestler. By that metric, she is a quote-unquote rookie. But she doesn't wrestle like a rookie.
That's right.
She doesn't have the accolades of a rookie.
When you see her wrestle, fans, if you've never seen her before, you won't believe
Left corner,
she's
5
only had a
feet,
year.
2 inches, the petite powerhouse, Zara Zakher!
Just about a month removed from her first time traveling to Japan, traveling to the land of the rising sun to compete for Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Again, a year into her career, and she's already flying to Japan on excursion to compete for TJPW. That is unprecedented stuff, Mark.
Both of these women have been tearing it up all over the world. You can hear the crowd already into this one, and the bell hasn't even rung.
Yeah, if this was a popularity contest, Adnan, he certainly wouldn't have to ring the bell, but it is not.
But they've been on a collision course. I think, Jordan, this is the first time these two women have ever faced out in the ring.
Whoa! We're talking about the aggression of Jada Stone with her jaw-jacking before the bell. Some aggression from Zara Zakher here. Snapmare. And look at that. Jada Stone kipping out of dodge of the kick.
That's what I'm talking about when I said you're going to see that spark. You're going to see that speed. You're going to see that quickness.
Jada Stone has been very candid about the fact that her greatest inspiration in wrestling is the CEO, Mercedes Moné. That's the woman who inspired her to become a professional wrestler, and that's the woman who she trained with in this very building at the LA Dojo.
Mercedes Moné was here. She was in this ring during this camp, working with Jada and some of the other wrestlers here. And Mercedes Moné also, of course, has held IWGP Women's Gold.
Yeah, IWGP Women's Gold, New Japan Strong Women's Gold. No doubt titles that both of these women have their sights set on. But it's Jada Stone doing everything she can to mount some type of offense against Zara Zakher. Again, the petite powerhouse. Zara has kept her composure. She has stayed cool in the feeling out process. I think that speaks to the places she's been, the matches she's had, how in only 1 year she kind of has the experience edge against Jada, not in terms of literal time, in terms of literal years, but in terms of the stages she's set. Crucifix here.
Jada has to stick and move and be so careful. If she gets caught in any one of Zara Zakher's devastating power maneuvers, it could be over just like that.
Yeah, both of these women are quick, both of these women are strong, but I think, as you said, Jada's gonna have to rely on the speed, and Zara's gonna have to rely on the power here. Right now, you're seeing why. Jada reversing the waist lock into one of her own. Just deadlifting Jada up. But again, Jada using the craftiness to escape, trading waist locks back and forth.
The success, you mentioned Mercedes Moné, the success that Mercedes Moné is having in this industry right now is an inspiration to all wrestlers. Mercedes may be the highest paid women's wrestler. She may be the highest paid women's wrestler of all time right now.
Right now, Zara Zakher clearly feeling that left arm. We're only a couple minutes into this contest, and Zara clearly showing the effects, but not letting it stop her, just drilling Jada into the corner. A very different corner than you may used to be seeing in your average professional wrestling ring.
That's right. Out of the neutral corner, a snapmare. And Zara Zakher, watch out behind you. Oh, wow! Shotgun drop kick to the back.
It's a basement shotgun drop kick there. Call it what you will, it hurt the back of Jada like hell. You can see she's nearly in tears here, Warzeka. I know I would be.
Zara Zakher has a tremendous arsenal of incredibly impactful power maneuvers.
But as you see, it's the speed of Jada, her saving grace. You called it, Mark. She can't match power, but she can certainly match speed. And right now, zeroing in on the arm of Zara. Gonna be very, very hard to deadlift anyone over your head if you only got one arm to do so.
We're just a couple minutes in, but I think we see Jada Stone's game plan, right? She's gone after that arm right from the beginning. She's staying on that arm. Every opportunity she has to go back to it, she goes back to it. She works it further.
A very aggressive, determined Jada Stone. Said the K stands for kick your butt. That's exactly what she's doing to Zara. Gotta be careful she doesn't get herself disqualified here.
She's really kept Zara at bay so far. I mean, Zara really has not been able to hit too much offense so far in this thing. Jada has dominated the match.
Double knees there from Jada. No, she can't get the cover in the corner. Deep cover now, but still only a 2. Very impressive. Not even 5 minutes in, already a near fall against a competitor like Zara Zakher.
They've both just got such high ring IQs for the amount of experience that they've had in this sport. It's really remarkable.
And Jada really playing with her food here, really having some fun mocking the crowd. I'm not sure.
I don't know if I like this strategy,
but it's working for her.
I'd be scared to do this against Zara Zakher, I'll tell you that.
I don't think that Fred Grosser or Kushida taught push-ups like that.
Probably not, probably not.
I could be wrong. I didn't go through NJPW Academy myself, but I don't think so. Wow, not mincing words is Jada, but paying for it here. An open hand slap, and Zara still got one good arm.
And Jada has succeeded in taking her opponent off, that's for sure. Right back to the arm.
Zara here trying to mount a
5
comeback
minutes
here, trying to look for offense. Cover from Jada.
That's a 5-minute call. It's a 15-minute time limit in this one. It's one thing to have the strategy to work a limb, to go after an arm. It's another thing to be able to execute it, and to be able to execute it consistently and as well as Jada Stone has been doing in this first 5 minutes of this match.
Especially, again, a very lackadaisical, cocky cover here. Jada Stone knows she's not going to put Zara Zakher away with that. Again, just trying to get in the head of the petite powerhouse.
Right to the back, and continuing the taunting and trash talking. This is a side of Jada Stone we don't always see, but you know what? I think Zara Zakher's brought it out of her.
I think she knew, as we heard before the bell even rang, that Zara Zakher is the hometown favorite. She wanted to get ahead of that, thinking handspring, but it's Zakher getting ahead of that. Maybe trying to counteract the love for the petite powerhouse from the LA Dojo faithful with some animosity of her own, but it's costing her here. Big power bomb from Zakher.
I've been talking all match much about the power that Zakher is capable of. But we haven't really got to see it until that moment right there.
But you can see Zakher unable to follow it up, really nursing that arm. Just a simple power bomb against a competitor like Jada Stone, half her size, keeping her out of the equation for damn near 30 seconds.
No, she's in the deep water now with that arm. I mean, Jada worked that arm for a very long time in many different ways, and I don't know if Zakher can come back from this at this point.
Zara Zakher, someone who made the trip up every week, twice a week from San Diego, California. Near 2-hour drive, sometimes a 3-hour drive. Anyone who lives in California will tell you that much.
Yeah, here goes. Oh my God! Some of the strikes here tonight have been absolutely bone-shaking.
Yeah, something tells me, as painful as that drive may have been for Zara, it pales in comparison to that chop she just delivered to Jada. But right now, Jada still clutching at the chest, seemingly more annoyed and frustrated than she is in pain. Right now, though, maybe regretting some of that trash talk. Zara Zakher with a flurry of strikes, perhaps feeding off the adrenaline, Mark.
Boom! Big shoulder tackle takes her down.
She may have a clipped wing. She also has a sold-out LA dojo behind her. Zara Zakher. Big step up at Saguri into a kip up.
Incredible athleticism by Zara Zakher. Jada stuck in the corner. No, she's not.
Up and over goes Jada. Into the waiting arms of Zara Zakher's spine buster. Leg hooked, but only a 2.
What a spine buster. Picture perfect, looking like Arn Anderson.
Yeah, they call it the double A spine buster. We might have to call it the double Z spine buster after tonight.
From one end of the alphabet to the other, and it hurts just the same. Listen to this crowd here in the dojo. They're packed in here. Everyone we can legally put in this training center is in here.
And each and every single one of them are firmly behind the petite powerhouse. But maybe Zara took a second too long, soaking up the adulation. Paying for it here. Big super kick from Jada.
She thinks it's over, but look out behind you.
Zara Zakher right there to meet her, and she's not done. Neither is Stone.
Following each other from buckle to buckle to buckle.
Big handspring. And you see Zakher just crumple. The impact to that injured arm was too much. Adrenaline will take you a long way. Eventually it gives out.
The spark up on top. The spark flying back in with a springboard kick.
Yeah, right now she's putting the R cover here. Right now she's putting the R and spark to good use. She's putting that resilience to good use here, Warzeka.
It wasn't a great cover, didn't have the legs, didn't have the shoulders down firmly. If she did, she might have won it, and she's stomping her out now.
And I think she knows it. I think some of this frustration that she's taking out on Zara and the ringside fans is kind of internal. I think the call is maybe coming from inside the house. Jada Stone is seeing the chinks in her armor. She's seeing the flaws in her game. She's not going to let it happen again.
Jordan, I don't know that she should be taking this much time here. She's round up, she's trash talking, but she's taking a lot of time, and Zakher's have time to rest and recover.
Yeah, I can tell you, Mark, she should not have taken that much time. She is paying for it here.
Pancake the chest.
Gunshot-like impact from Zakher. Now maybe thinking, muscle buster? Instead,
10 minutes has elapsed. 10 minutes.
Was looking for that stalling suplex, but Jada had an answer.
Jada's fighting out of it.
Yeah, clubbing at the ribs of Zakher. No! But this time it lands.
The low center of gravity. The incredible power.
Crawling into the cover is Zakher, but still only a 2.
And still grabbing her arm, Jordan. She's still grabbing her arm is Zara Zakher. She's still feeling it.
Well, and Zakher is a much bigger woman than Jada Stone, but there's no way she was able to use all of her weight with that cover if her arm's as injured as it seemingly is.
That's right. The crowd solidly behind Zara Zakher here now. In the dojo.
Doing everything she can to try to wriggle and beat some feeling into that arm. You know, she likes to employ that Control Z, that spinning Michinoku driver. Much easier said than done with a clipped wing. Oh!
More trash talk, but followed it up that time and made it count. Springboard.
Spark Stunner! This may be all she wrote, Warzeka.
Here she goes quick to the cover, got the leg this time.
No! Wow, that was close, man.
She wins matches with that move, and look, out of just sheer frustration.
Yeah, Jada Stone pulling off Zakher's headband here, clubbing away. No regard for a potential disqualification. See, she is seeing red here, Mark.
She can't believe she didn't get that win with the Spark Stunner.
Again, that is a game ender. That is a finishing maneuver for Jada, not to be tonight.
We've seen her win many matches with that. And is she so desperate and frustrated? Does she have a plan B here, Jordan?
Well, I know Zara has a plan Z, thinking sunset flip, but Jada Stone unable to escape. Only a one. Lands on her feet to Stone.
Remaining in the match.
Huge lariat. Makes Stan Hansen proud.
The Spark is so quick. She's so fast. She's so capable of counters. Zara finally caught her there. Here it is.
Control C means 1, 2, 3.
What a match! And what a win!
Time, 12 minutes and 18 seconds. Here is your winner, Zara Zakher!
You know, Mark, the word prodigy gets thrown around a lot in the professional wrestling world.
That's right.
I don't think there is a truer, purer example of that word than the petite powerhouse Zara Zakher. What a gutsy, determined performance here tonight.
And what about the Spark? Right in there with the Jada Stone.
Zara Zakher.
These two, an absolutely incredible display from both of them in this very, very competitive match.
And the Spark will live to fight another way. That, shall we say, precocious attitude took her a long way, but it did not take her to the finish line. The night belongs to Zakher.
We're going to see a lot more, I'm sure, of these two wrestlers in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
You know, I mentioned Zara Zakher making the trip up weekly, twice a week from San Diego, California. She didn't do it alone. Her riding buddy in action. Up next, tag team competition on the way here at NJPW Academy Showcase 3.
Sixth match, tag team contest. One fall with a 15-minute time limit.
Our 6th of 7 matches here. Up later after this. You don't want to miss it. Our main event, Zane J takes on bad dude Tito.
There he is, her riding buddy. Tonight, his tag team partner is Allan Breeze. I'm talking about Mr. 551, CJ Tino, a fellow Bostonian turned Californian. We talk a lot about uprooting your life. Tito didn't do that for NJPW Academy. Actually took several years off from professional wrestling, but found a reignited love, a reignited appreciation, and it's manifest here at NJPW Academy.
These two men know each other well. They have not teamed together a lot, but they know each other well, have been in the ring with each other often.
Blue
as
corner,
opponents.
5 feet, 6 inches, 155 pounds, the deadlift king, CJ Tino! 5 feet, 9 inches, 200 pounds, Allan Breeze!
Conversely, Allan Breeze, someone who I think we're witnessing a metamorphosis for, some real change for Allan Breeze. I've called a lot of his matches on the independent scene here in California. He's someone who likes to have fun. He's someone who likes to employ a pool noodle, right? Enjoys the frivolous side. A pool noodle, you heard me right. But today, he said he's forging a new identity that people haven't seen. He's too used to a big old smile. No, you idiots. He's here to take you down. From a first-time ever tag team to a very, very experienced tag team. A well-oiled machine.
We've seen 4 teams here tonight. 3 of them are not frequent tag teams. This is the exception.
Yes.
And you've got to think that that gives them a huge advantage in this tag team match.
Things are about to get very, very crusty as top-notch Lucas Riley and Don Kubrick make their way to ringside. No doubt with the advantage here tonight, but do not count Breeze and Tino out.
Red corner, Krusty Crew, 5 feet 10 inches, 190 pounds, Mad Trugi, Dom Kubrick.
You know, just a few moments ago, we saw Fred Rosser declare himself and Filthy Tom Lawler for
5
the
feet,
GOD.
11 inches, 180 pounds, top notch, Lucas Riley.
I'm telling you, Adnan does it on purpose, I'm sure of it.
It happens to the best of us,
But as I was saying, Fred Rosser declaring himself and Filthy Tom Lawler for the GOD Four-Corner Open Challenge at Windy City Ride in Chicago, Illinois. Of course, that's coming to fight on April 12th. No doubt Dom Kubrick and Lucas Riley looking towards a potential strong openweight tag team title opportunity, or perhaps an IWGP Junior Heavyweight tag team title opportunity. A win against Tino and Breeze here tonight would get them one step closer.
And not strangers to New Japan Strong. We've seen Lucas Riley in particular in New Japan Strong in a lot of singles action, Jordan.
Yeah, a lot of singles action where he has lost to the likes of Jonah, Royce Isaacs, Kita, Yuya Uemura, David Finlay, Rocky Romero, Mascara Dorada. The list goes on.
I mean, that's
and on
a list
and
of
on.
superstars. No shame in those losses.
Take nothing away from Lucas Riley, but for the Gravity Renegade, it's not enough to just show up, right? It's not enough to just compete over the lion mark. He wants to start picking up victories, and you gotta wonder, if teaming with regular independent tag team partner Dom Kubrick is his ace in the hole, is that missing piece he's looking for.
A new approach, a new strategy, a new wrinkle, a new way to come at it is what we're going to see from Lucas Riley.
And conversely, Allan Breeze, looking for a new perspective in his own right, is a ranked amateur wrestler, and as I said, with the pool noodle.
It's a pool noodle.
It's a pool noodle. Yes, he brings a pool noodle to ringside. I don't know what to tell you. But as you see, no pool noodle at ringside here tonight for Allan Breeze. Instead, much like we saw earlier on tonight with Lycan, digging into that amateur bag of tricks, really embracing the technical, no-frills side of his game here. And in the early going, it's working out well for him.
All 4 of these wrestlers are capable of very fast-paced, high-flying offense. Interesting to me that we're seeing a technical start to this, some grappling early on, each wrestler taking their time, not wanting to make a mistake here.
Now again, Lucas Riley and Kubrick in particular are high flyers, and despite their tag team synergy, they do not want to give Breeze and Tino the opening to take advantage. Don't want to give them the opening for a counter until they've worn them down for a little longer.
That's right. Look in the arm now. It's gone back and forth since the bell rang. This is another one-fall 15-minute contest. Our main event's going to have a 30-minute time limit.
Cover here from Riley, the first of the matchup. Only a 1. And in comes Allan Breeze with a kick to the gut. Again, first time Allan Breeze has teamed with CJ Tino, but he's no stranger to tag team competition. Often seen alongside Can't Stop Jamal as one half of the Wrestle Buddies. But in comes Mr. 551. You know what they call him, Mr. 551, Mark Warzeka?
I don't know, Jordan. I don't know.
That's what he deadlifts. If you are 550 pounds or less, CJ Tino can lift you over his head. And if he can lift you over his head, you better believe he can slam you down.
He's clearly in incredible shape, and you got to think that that level of power and conditioning is an advantage for him in any match against any opponent.
Especially against a Lucas Riley, a competitor more prone to high flying, with a suplex into a cover. Certainly paying dividends here, only a 2.
He did pick him up into that snap suplex with absolute ease and goes right back into the front face lock.
Again, made the drive every single week from San Diego, a 2, 3, sometimes 4-hour drive alongside Zara Zakher. Just shows Tino's dedication.
Absolutely, and I know it's been a story we've been telling a lot tonight, where everybody's been coming from, how far they've been coming from, what the miles that they put on the cars, the miles that they put on flights to get here, to be part of this action.
Line tag into Dom Kubrick. lands the dropkick instead of going for the cover, cinches in the submission hold. Interesting strategy from Kubrick, a competitor I think many would associate more with athleticism, more with high flying than his ground game. Perhaps speaks to the tools of the trade he's picked up as a student, a graduate now of the NJPW Academy.
This is the tag team experience. We saw this earlier in the night. Tag team experience. Get your man in your corner. Quick tags back and forth. Double team when you can. Take advantage of the count.
Well, CJ Tino taking advantage, lands on his feet, but just gets caught up with the tag team synergy. Double stomp to the back from Riley into the cover. Only a 2. There is no teacher better than experience. Breeze and Tito have certainly been strategizing, as I said earlier on tonight, with our makeshift tag team match. Have certainly been setting time aside in dojo class, in classes at the NJPW Academy, right? But there is no teacher. There is no substitute for in-ring experience. And that's what Riley and Kubrick have had for the better part of 2 years.
Riley grinding now on Tino. And this is clearly a deliberate strategy because they've taken turns doing it now, keeping Tino on the mat.
I talk a lot about the strength of CJ Tino, but Lucas Riley has added mass in his own right here, and all that mass just landed on Tino. Big basement drop kick off the springboard from Kubrick, leg hooked.
Only got a 2, but you gotta love that innovative offense.
And I want to point out, you look at the mouth of CJ Tino, I think he's busted open here, Mark.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. It could have been any of those strikes that we've seen so far, or maybe
5 minutes has elapsed. 5 minutes.
God, that was a fast 5 minutes.
It always is.
Or maybe just got busted open at some point in one of these holds. And look at Tino reaching for his corner, even from the wrong side of town.
Kubrick there, gets caught, thinking sunset flip. Tino makes the tag to Breeze, and Kubrick doesn't realize. Taking out Riley. Kubrick, he thinks he hit the legal man. He just got hit by the legal man. And again, we talk about a renewed Allan Breeze. Gone are the fun and games. This is a dangerous professional wrestler, and Kubrick's learning that the hard way.
Tino desperately needed that tag. Breeze has had some time on the apron to rest, to recover. He's coming in with a measured pace to his offense.
Yeah, really taking his time is Allan Breeze, not letting the high-octane offense, the high-octane style of the Krusty Crew sway him here. Slowing things down, keeping it methodical. And again, it may be their first time teaming, but a signature of great tag teams, the frequent tags from Tino and Breeze.
Nice double suplex.
Tino into the cover, shoulders down. Still only a 2.
It's a really well-wrestled match so far from all 4 of these Academy graduates.
Tino putting out a post on social media in the days preceding this Academy Showcase saying, tonight all he wants to do is make his 5-year-old self proud. The same 5-year-old self that fell in love with professional wrestling. A victory! No doubt the way to that pride.
And he said, you know, it's not lost on me how special it's going to be to wrestle in an NJPW ring. And I think that's not only true for him, but all of the wrestlers that we're seeing on this Academy Showcase here today.
Mr. 551 putting those deadlift skills to good use. I thought he was going for an ankle lock instead of cover. And a kick out. Didn't hook the leg right away. It may have cost him there, Mark. I gotta say, we talk about the Krusty Crew, Lucas Riley and Dom Kubrick, the much more experienced tag team. Things do not look good for them right now.
No, they don't. And again, a nice quick tag. And we're gonna see some more double team. And a little bit of taunting.
Yeah, mocking the signature taunt of the Krusty Crew, kind of subverting it, throwing it back in their face. Dom Kubrick not going to take that one quietly. He feels disrespected here from Allan Breeze. I think perhaps this is about a little more than graduation pride now, Mark.
Lucas was reaching for the tag. Breeze could sense it, got him out of there.
Tino and Breeze are playing a little bit dirty. I think they know they're in the ring with a well-oiled machine. I think they're looking for that win by any means necessary.
I'm impressed with the tag team ability and synchronization of these two, who, as we have well noted here, had not teamed before.
Tino with a drop kick off the Irish whip from Breeze. Now sends Kubrick into his partner's waiting arms. Down we go. Face full of canvas for Kubrick. Leg hook by Tino. Only a 2.
Sort of a cocky cover there, Jordan, I gotta say, from Tino. He did have the leg, but didn't have as much leverage as he could have if he wanted to.
Yeah, they say pride comes before the fall, and perhaps with the advantage in their corner, Tino and Breeze getting a little prideful here.
It clearly was a game plan of Tino and Breeze to, on each tag, do their best to execute some type of tag team maneuver, because they've done it every single time.
Well, not only that, Mark, but to slow down the pace. We saw it earlier when Kubrick and Riley were in control. This one almost too quick to call. Now, with Breeze and Tino in control, things are methodical. But right now, the tide may have turned. Big boot from Kubrick sends Tino onto the apron, elbow to Mr. 551, and sends Breeze with a forearm straight to the face of his own tag team partner. Now, the Hurricane Rana.
So impressive, but even if Kubrick can get to his corner, Lucas Riley is still down on the floor here. He's not up on the apron yet.
Well, Kubrick missed the spinning back fist and instead got caught with a headbutt from Breeze. Back up, though. That's the fighting spirit we like to see here in the LA Dojo.
It's all about fighting spirit in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Wow. Tom Kubrick, he could have gone for the cover. He could have capitalized. Instead, I think he wants to make the tag. Instead, I think he knows he needs to make the tag.
Lucas Riley knows it too. He's back up.
10
He's
minutes
reaching.
elapsed. 10 minutes.
But so
I don't know if
is
Kubrick even knows where he is, Jordan.
I don't know if either of these men do. Tino gets the tag. So does Riley.
Here we go.
Big leapfrog. Hold on, was maybe thinking power slam, but Tino landed on his feet. Lucas Riley ducks the lariat into a Hurricane Rana of his own, lands on his feet.
So explosive.
Big drop kick. Talk about intensity, talk about fighting spirit.
Firing away. Forearms.
Irish whip gets reversed by Tino, but a rewind there from Riley. Kick to Breeze. So quick, cat-like agility. They don't call him the Gravity Renegade for no reason. Michinoku driver, but broken up at the last possible second by Allan Breeze.
I think that might have been all if it wasn't broken up, Jordan. It was so close.
Again, that is the signifier of a tag team, though inexperienced, a tag team that has done their homework, that has strategized and worked together. Breeze saved the matchup, not just for Tino, but for himself.
Riley's doing it all by himself right now, and he has to. Kubrick still down and out here on the outside.
Went for the wheelbarrow, but instead gets caught by Breeze, who tags in Tino. Big shot to the neck.
Sort of a hidden blade almost there.
Oh, we're gonna see this. Mr. 551 with the deadlift. Sherman suplex. Cover. Broken up by Kubrick. Sending Tino's own tag team partner into him to break up the count.
How about that power, though, on the deadlift? Oh. My God, was that impressive.
I mean, why do you think the German flag is on the man's gear? Come on now.
All 4 men are down and out in the center of the ring.
Something has to give. We're getting into deep waters.
3 minutes remaining in the match. 3 minutes.
And that's a 3-minute call.
The clock is ticking down. Neither one of these teams want to lose, but neither one of these teams want this one to end in a time limit draw. Both Breeze and Kubrick stitching in Boston Crabs.
I can't believe this. We got double Boston Crabs here.
We talked about it earlier, the signature of the young lion in Japan. Now single leg Boston Crabs, using the leftover arm to trade strikes in the center of the ring.
Just open hand slaps, breaks up the Crabs on both sides.
Kubrick with a flurry of forearms, but Breeze dodges the final blow.
But what about the time here, Jordan? It's a 15-minute time limit.
We got about 2 minutes left.
Double
Kubrick.
team.
Whoa!
What a cutter.
2 minutes remaining in the match. 2 minutes.
Breeze is out of the equation, but CJ Tino taking both of them. He can do this all day. A tribute to the firebrand Brian Fury, perhaps, Tino's trainer.
behind him was Riley.
There to
Kubrick
meet
there
him.
too.
Dutchman's curse. What a match.
Time, 13 minutes and 28 seconds. Here are your winners, Tom Kubrick and Lucas Riley.
We were only a minute and 32 seconds away from hitting the 15-minute time limit in this match, which would have meant a draw.
Once again,
Riley
your winners
and
of the match,
Kubrick
Tom Kubrick and
on
Lucas
fire
Riley.
in that closing sequence of offense, taking this thing home.
Yeah, we said it earlier on, Mark. There is no substitute for ring time. There is no substitute for in-ring tag team experience and the cohesion of the Krusty Crew, securing them a very, very close victory here tonight.
And Tino and Breeze were impressive as a team.
For a first-time tag team.
They were impressive throughout, but in those closing minutes, when the heat was on, when the clock was ticking, the tag team experience is what made the difference.
Mark Warzeka, can you feel it? I can feel a tingle. There's something in the air. I think it's main event time.
It's gotta be
here tonight at the LA Dojo.
We've been eagerly anticipating what we're about to see here in match number 7, our main event tonight in the New Japan Academy Showcase number 3. Zane J, who is a product of this academy. He has only trained here in the main event tonight against a New Japan Pro Wrestling regular, Bad Dude Tito. He's not a coach. He's not a trainer, Jordan.
Let's throw it to Adnan for the official introductions.
I won my bet money. Yeah, right. Shut up. No.
Tonight's main event, a singles contest, one fall, with a 30-minute time limit.
The last time we were here calling an NJPW Academy Showcase at the LA Dojo, Zane J competed in his very first professional wrestling match. Not his first match in New Japan, but his very first professional wrestling match. And though he did not pick up a victory over Coach the DKC, his performance impressed officials enough to skyrocket him to the main event.
Red corner, 6 feet, 1 inch, 212 pounds, Zane J!
Zane J said then his goal was to wrestle one match, and anything that might come after is a blessing. I don't know if he's still going to feel that way at the end of tonight, because his opponent, I think, Jordan, is anything but a blessing.
Yeah, from a blessing to a curse, we are far from a one and done, man. Zane J says that he sees the vision for himself. He sees great things in his future, but in his immediate future, I think he might see a bad dude. A veteran of 19 years, nearly 2 decades under the belt of TMDK's heavyweight hitter. A near 50-pound weight advantage, over 18-year experience advantage for Jay's opponent here tonight.
I want to elaborate on something I said a moment ago, Jordan. We've seen teachers versus students in these showcases. This is not a teacher.
Blue corner, TMDK, 6 feet, 1 inch, 250 pounds, Bad Dude Tino!
In fact, I might look at Bad Dude Tito as more of a gatekeeper than an instructor.
We questioned earlier on tonight if a DKC or a Rocky Romero or a Bateman or a Fred Rosser, all of whom have previously competed on Academy Showcases.
Taito Nakabayashi.
If maybe they'd pull their punches a little bit. If maybe they'd play it a little easy against their students.
Right.
Bad Dude Tito isn't worried about that. In fact, if anything, I think it might be the inverse. I think Bad Dude Tito might see a young, hungry kid like Zane J and say, who the hell do you think you are to stand toe-to-toe with me in a main event.
There's a long history in this sport of veterans like Bad Dude Tito serving as gatekeepers, trying to keep young wrestlers out of the business. We don't want you here. You're not going to come in and take my spot. Who do you think you are? I'll run you right out of here.
Yeah, Bad Dude Tito worked over 15 years to earn his spot, to earn his membership to TMDK, to earn his time in the land of the rising sun, to earn victories over the likes of Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Shingo Takagi, Bushi, Toru Yano, Tom Lawler. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of men that Bad Dude Tito has vanquished.
And during that time, he not only has been a professional wrestler, Jordan, he's an underground street fighter. I'm talking about Fight Club stuff here. Real life. It's a family business. His dad was an underground street fighter.
I talked to Tito earlier. I said, you know, you wrestled for a very long time before you finally made it to the King of Sports, before you were finally a part of the New Japan roster. How do you think it changed you as a professional wrestler? And he told me it completely leveled my wrestling game up. I always thought I was a pretty good wrestler then, but the Tito now would run circles around the other guy, though I don't want to be presumptuous, Mark. Right now, it seems like Zane J is running circles over Tito in firm control.
And Zane J just looks like $1 million. He's an athlete. Played basketball, baseball, football, soccer, rugby, college football at Eastern Washington University. Multi-disciplines.
Again, trained in the Beginners Academy here at NJPW Academy, moved up to the advanced course, had his first matchup here in the LA dojo, and over the course of the last 5 months has continued to ply his trade, both here in the dojo, not missing a class, and also taking independent bookings, keeping himself sharp in ring. As we said, there is no substitute for ring time.
And he's another wrestler on this card, Jordan, who packed up his stuff. He moved here to Los Angeles. He had nothing but his truck and his camper and came out here to live a dream.
Says that tonight is the first step of many, many more. He can see the vision, but Bad Dude Tito probably hoping that Zane J is not able to see, that Zane J is not able to walk by the time he's through with him.
Think of the stakes for both of these wrestlers here. What would it mean for Zane J, for his career path? How would it skyrocket him to have a victory over Bad Dude Tito here? What would it mean to Bad Dude Tito should he lose?
I mean, Bad Dude Tito simply cannot afford that. Here we have a man in Bad Dude Tito who is challenged for the ROH World Six-Man Tag Team titles, who is challenged for the AEW World Trios titles, who has defeated the litany of names that I just listed off. That would be a big hit to his ego and, frankly, his standing in New Japan if he lost to a man. Cover here. Zane J reversing into a crucifix. If he lost to a man who hasn't even wrestled for 6 months. Cover once again, but only a 2. Collar and elbow tie up here. I'm not sure how wise this is. Zane J is big. He's in excellent shape. He's sculpted, as we see here, into the roll-up. But Bad Dude Tito is just that much bigger. Small package now. Zane J, often a powerful wrestler, often relies on that power again into the cover. Can't do that here tonight against Tito.
Waist locked, sends him into the corner. Tito comes out, walks right into a deep arm drag, another one from the other side. And up with a big back body drop.
Big back body drop there. So much so that Tito rolls to the outside. You know, Mark, it might be the commentator's curse. I said Zane J can't exactly rely on the power, but it worked for him very, very well right there.
Tito taking a second, the veteran. Come out, take a moment, take a breather, think this thing over.
But Zane
J's not gonna let him.
No. Wow, Zane J maybe trying to get in the head of Bad Dude Tito here, saying, I had you scattered, I could have done it. I didn't, but I could have.
He's young, he's hungry, he wants this win, he wants to make his mark at New Japan Pro Wrestling. He has his opportunity here against one of the baddest men there is in this business.
And if there's one thing you don't want to do, it is piss Bad Dude Tito off. He is already a mean enough guy to begin with. You get him angry. You don't want to see him angry.
5 minutes have elapsed. 5 minutes.
30-minute time limit in this main event, fans. We've had 15-minute time limits all night. Became a major factor in our last match, that tag team matchup. We got a 30-minute time limit for the main event here.
And again, you see it coming into play. Both of these competitors know this, unlike our previous 6 matchups. Not going fast and furious, really taking their time because they can afford to. Spinebuster by Tito, but only a 2.
What would it mean for Zane J to lose this match? We talked about what it would mean for him to win. What would it mean for him to lose? That would mean on both of his showcase matches. In Showcase 2 against the DKC, he was not victorious. In Showcase 3, the main event against Bad Dude Tito, not victorious.
Well, it's not looking very good for Zane J off of that chop. You know, I think it's fair to say that in many ways, New Japan officials are taking a real shot on Zane J, are taking a real chance on Zane J here. He doesn't want to disappoint that. He doesn't want to say, you took a shot on me in vain. Right now, trading shots in the center of the ring.
And the kid was going nose to nose with Bad Dude Tito there, doing the best he can to hold his own.
Yeah, you can say that Zane J is inexperienced. You can say that he has a lot to learn. You cannot say that he is timid, right? You cannot say he is not courageous.
Guts, and like we've said tonight, what are the key words? Fighting spirit. I remember the first day I ever walked into this dojo, Katsuyori Shibata was here. He was training LA Dojo students at that time. I said, what are you looking for from this group of students? I thought he was going to say athleticism, technique. He said fighting spirit. Who is going to have the spirit to make it in this business?
Well, he's going to need to use each and every single ounce of that fighting spirit to counteract this onslaught from Bad Dude Tito. We're seeing it here off the ropes, but just gets checked.
That's a veteran, just knowing when and how to hit the right move at the right time.
And again, as you said, Mark, doesn't have the sentimental connection that one of Zane J's coaches might. If anything, it's the opposite. Bad Dude Tito isn't just willing to hurt Zane J. I think as we're seeing here, he likes hurting Zane J.
I don't know if he's got sentimental connection to anything or anyone anywhere.
Perhaps his TMDK brothers. Perhaps, you know, Sabre Jr. and Shane Hayes, Mikey Nichols, Robbie Eagles. It might be it.
Nasty kick, and Zane J went off the top rope all the way down to the outside. Referee Tito out to check on him.
Zane J
1
with a 20 count to make it back in the ring, but Bad Dude Tito there to meet him. He's not content with a count-out victory here, Mark.
Bad Dude Tito's got a 20 count to work Zane J over on the outside if he chooses to, and as he stalks over his prey, I got a feeling he's got some offense in mind at ringside.
Outside's a very dangerous place to be. Zane J with a face full of apron. We mentioned it earlier, the hardest part of the ring canvas. It is where wood meets steel. There's absolutely no give. Now Tito's choking Zane J here. Oh, God.
What a chop. Right on top of our fans here at ringside.
Tito getting in the face of referee Tito.
Oh,
one.
That's Bad Dude Tito saying, you want in this sport, kid?
3.
It takes mental toughness. It takes physical toughness. Do you got what it takes? And Zane J trying to show some guts and spirit and fight back.
6.
Zane J not to be outdone. Call it guts, call it stupid. Whatever you will, Zane J will not go quietly into the night.
Watch the Bad Dude.
Up and over with the senton into a cover. And a kick out from Jay.
Referee Tito gets 2. Tito spends, by the way, half his year here in the United States, half his year in Japan. You see him in New Japan rings all over the world.
Zane J here is looking worse for the wear. You talk about Tito, he may have no choice but to call this matchup. I'm not sure if there's a world where Zane J gives up. He might pass out as he's locked in the camel clutch.
God, what would that do to the soul of Zane J to have a match stopped here this early in his career?
Bad Dude Tito just choking the life out of the young Zane J. But look at Zane, using all that power, using all that strength, all those hours at the gym to muscle his way up, only to be clubbed back down in a second.
Come on, Zane.
Zane J lands on his feet. Step up, Hurricane Rana.
How about that out of nowhere?
Big drop kick, picture perfect.
The kid's got some fight left in him.
But it doesn't matter if he's not able to capitalize.
Right.
Not able to go for the cover here, Mark.
10 minutes have elapsed. 10 minutes.
Unbridled passion, unbridled intensity from Zane. Jay, I talked earlier about how he told me he saw a vision for himself. He sees great things. You got to think that light at the end of the tunnel inching closer and closer by the second here.
A great move there off the top rope. Takes Tito down with the clothesline. Duck underneath. He's getting some momentum here. Duck underneath again. Up and over the top of the leapfrog. And how about that?
Zane Jay's got bad dude Tito staggered. The bad dude is on spaghetti legs here, Zakher.
Tito with a counter. Zane Jay firing away.
Springboard!
Picture perfect drop kick.
Not going for the cover. Instead, a fireman's carry on the big man.
Oh my God, how did he get him up?
Wow, Death Valley driver, cover. But not enough, I think. I'm not sure, Mark, but I think that Death Valley driver muscling Tito up into the fireman's carry took so much out of Zane Jay that he was unable to cover with the full force he usually would have.
He's not done yet though, Jordan. Coming right back in on the offense. He's clearly still smarting from all the punishment he took earlier in this match.
Thinking pile driver, perhaps?
Oh my God.
Trying to muscle bad dude Tito up. That might be one big move too many. Deadlift, German suplex, cover, and a kick out from Jay.
Oh my God, bad dude Tito just grabbed Zane Jay and straight deadlifted him up into that suplex. Just raw power.
The word I think of is grinding. Bad dude Tito is grinding Zane Jay down, minute by minute, moment by moment, step by step. He has taken his time.
The mark of a veteran, we've seen it a couple times in this match already. Just when you think they've lost all momentum, they don't know what to do next, boom. Bad dude Tito hits you with the right move at the right time, turns the tide of the match.
Again, 19 years versus 5 months. As a professional wrestler, that is a world of difference in terms of experience. Zane Jacot with the Ride the Lightning cover. But only a 2.
It was very close. Very close. And not a very forceful kick out.
Zane Jay rode the lightning, but still found the wherewithal to survive. It is the heart, it is the guts, it is the fighting spirit that has carried Zane Jay into the main event of NJPW Academy Showcase 3 and has kept his hopes of winning alive.
Think about some of the legends you've heard in the history of professional wrestling, of new young wrestlers getting their legs broken intentionally by trainers who wanted to keep them out of the business. How far will bad dude Tito go as he toys with Zane Jay here?
Was maybe thinking fade to black. Zane Jay went for the enziguri, nobody home. Sky high!
Here we go!
No! So close, Zakher, so damn close.
Earlier in the night, when Jada Stone hit a move she thought she would finish it, she didn't have a plan B. Does Zane Jay have a plan B? He's up on top!
I think the elbow drop is the plan B! No!
Oh my God! You could not have hit a better elbow drop off the top than Zane Jay just executed.
Yeah, if Zane Jay wants the 3, he's gonna need to dig deep. He's gonna need to find plan C here, Mark.
We watched him just 5 months ago in his first match ever, and look at that!
Oh, went for the springboard moonsault, but nobody home. Wise beyond his years, capable beyond his years, but still no way to see that one coming.
Referee Tito in there. He's checking on both men. They've taken a ton of punishment. We're deep into this match. Tito may go. He wants to see them get back up on their feet. If they cannot, he will start to count.
Again, after the war that has been waged, no one wants to see this one end in a double countout, and I don't think we're gonna. Tito and Zane Jay back up to the knees, face to face, head to head.
Come on, Zane.
this one, Mark Warzeka, and neither man is showing any intention of quitting.
It's breaking down now, though, Jordan. It's breaking all the way down.
Finally, Zane J starting to falter, but there to meet Tino. Maybe playing possum, perhaps. Oh, but gets caught in the shoulders of Tito. Maybe they can fade to black, but again, Jay able to evade. Oh, huge lariat.
Back and forth. The experience comes out the better in that exchange.
Tequila screwdriver.
Oh my God. And that is going to be all. Let's hear the time call.
Time, 15 minutes and 51 seconds. Here is your winner, Bad Dude Tino.
Listen, I'm going to say this, Jordan. I know Bad Dude Tito is the winner here, but Zane J, who only had his first pro wrestling match 5 months ago on our last showcase, went almost 16 minutes toe-to-toe with one of the toughest people anywhere in this sport.
This is a different Zane J than the one we
Once again,
saw.
your winner of the match, Bad Dude Tino.
At our last Academy Showcase. Yes, the result was the same, but the wrestler has evolved and grown and flourished in ways I did not think were possible.
That's right. You want the win. You want the win, of course. But can you be impressive even short of the win? Yes, you can. As a new wrestler trying to prove yourself, we saw so much fire and fighting spirit out of Zane J in this match.
Bad Dude Tito may have won the main event matchup, but Zane J winning the hearts of the LA Dojo.
I don't think we're alone in our appreciation for Zane J. And he's calling for the microphone here.
Oh, man. Man, I want to thank each and every one of y'all coming out for main event Zane and the rest of the Academy Showcase. I appreciate y'all. Man, it's been a year since I began training at the New Japan Academy. Only place I've ever trained, all I loved, and it brought me to this point. And man, all the other Academy Showcase students, man, they balled out. Real talk, they balled out, right? But man, I'm just grateful. I appreciate y'all, and pretty soon everybody gonna know the name, Zane J. Bless.
Hold on. What's happening here?
Wow! That is the aerial chemist, Matt Vandegrift.
Yeah, but Jordan, we didn't see him on the card tonight.
No, he's not on the card tonight, but he's going to be on every single New Japan Strong card in the foreseeable future, because Matt Vandegrift is what we call the Strong Survivor. You got to win it to stay in it. And currently, he's 3-0.
Look at you, man. You just went to war with Bad Dude Tito, and you're still standing. Look how far you've come in the year you've been here. You need to be proud of yourself.
Yeah, we're proud.
He has. I met you here at the Academy, and the way you've improved just is amazing. It's impressive. The way you just learn from Rocky, Kushida, DKC, Fred. Dude, seriously, pat yourself on the back. And since we're both standing in this ring right now, Chicago Windy City Riot, biggest strong show to date so far. I'm scheduled to be there, but I've yet to receive who I'm supposed to be facing. And I had this idea. Fred has dubbed us his QBs of the Academy. So how about Zane J, Matt Vandegrift, Chicago, Windy City Riot!
I like the sound of that.
Are you kidding me? We got another match made for Windy City Riot. And a match between two Academy graduates.
Half a year into his professional wrestling career, and Zane J will be challenging Matt Vandegrift as Strong Survivor. This could turn the tide of New Japan Strong as we know it, Mark Warzeka.
Jared Castle, there is nothing like these showcase events. They're so unique in all of professional wrestling. It's like we're looking into a crystal ball. We're looking into the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling. We're looking into the future of all of pro wrestling. And the future continues. April the 12th at Windy City Riot.
Two NJPW Academy graduates scheduled to go head-to-head. Will Vandegrift make it 4-0, or will Zane J beat the streak? It remains to be seen, but Mark Warzeka, so much else scheduled for April 12th in Chicago, Illinois.
How about John Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito? April 12th in Chicago, Illinois. How about Takahashi versus, guess who, Mustafa Ali? How about Nick Nemeth against Tomohiro Ishii? What about Shota Umino versus, listen to this, Jack Perry? What a card is shaping up in Chicago, Illinois. But what a card we had tonight, Jordan.
Fantastic card from top to bottom. The Academy graduates showing up and showing out. Again, fans, summer course still available. NJPW Academy on Instagram. NJPW1972.com. Slots are there, but they are going fast. And again, for Mark Warzeka, I've been Jordan Castle. This has been NJPW Academy Showcase 3. We will see you next time.